Men's Champ Week, presented by Dick's Sporting Goods, continues from the Gaylord Entertainment Center in Nashville. Top seed Austin Peay gets 5 seed Samford in our first semifinal game of the night. Austin Peay needed overtime to hold off Tennessee State on Tuesday night to get here. Samford pulled off something of an upset in winning at Murray State. Hi everyone, I'm Luke Canellis alongside Bob Valvano. It is tournament time. And you know what? It really is the beginning of a new season, isn't it, for these 4 remaining teams?
Not just for them, for all of us. I've always said this day I feel like we should exchange gifts. It's my favorite time
Where's
of the year.
gift?
I have to, in between games, we'll do that.
All right, let's talk about this game. Austin Peay, by virtue of picking up the best record in the regular season in the conference, is the #1 seed. Samford was picked in the preseason by the coaches to win the conference. Struggled a bit during the regular season, but lately they've played their best basketball.
Well, these are 2 different storylines. As you mentioned, Austin Peay picked 6th, lost 3 of 4 actually coming into this tournament, escaped with an overtime win in the first round of this tournament. That may be enough to give them momentum coming through. They put together a magical regular season, but it's a very dangerous Samford team, as you mentioned.
All right, star watch time, and the 2 guys that we feature, the league's top scorer and the Ohio Valley Conference Player of the Year.
Well, they are guys that sum up why their teams are successful. For Randall Galena, he is a terrific 3-point shooter, and that's what Samford wants to do. They want to do nothing but shoot layups and threes. For Drake Reed, when Austin Peay outshoots their opposition, they are undefeated, and he is shooting 53% from the field. That's outstanding.
Starting lineups for Samford, Jason Black getting ready for his 3rd start. He's added some rebounding for the Bulldogs. Drake Reed, again, the Ohio Valley Conference Player of the Year. Wes Channels moved into the starting lineup a couple of games ago, replaced Kyle Duncan, who's out with an injury. Boy, Coach Luce wishes he has Duncan tonight to defend Galena. Coach Jimmy Tillett for the Samford Bulldogs. Samford's all-time winningest coach. He's taken the Bulldogs to a pair of NCAA tournaments. On the other side, the Dean of Coaches in the Ohio Valley Conference, Dave Luce. 5-time Ohio Valley Conference Coach of the Year, just won the honor yesterday. 5th time. Wow.
Yeah, he's one of the throwbacks. He's the athletic director, too, and by all accounts does a great job there as well. There's not many of those left who combine those 2.
Samford in the blue, Austin Peay in the white. Austin Peay controls the tip. That's Derek Wright in the backcourt. Lockett. Around the horn. Babington, he'll take the 3 if you give it to him. Lockett decides to shoot the 3. Comes up short. Trapped down there by Jason Black.
That is the one area that neither of these teams are great, and certainly Austin Peay, not a great rebounding team. In the semifinal, they only got 6 offensive rebounds the whole game. And you see right there, not able to get to the offensive glass on the long rebound.
All right, Samford running that Princeton-style offense. How difficult is that to defend?
Well, it's difficult when you don't have a long time to prepare. They do not have a great deal of time, but usually when it's in your league, you've seen it, you've got your game plan. It's very different than in a tournament setting where you haven't seen it before.
Black took it to the bucket and was fouled by Babington.
Now that said, I mean, it's terrific offense and they do a great job of it, but it's especially difficult when you have very little time to prepare. And in fact, Jimmy Tillett's record against teams with less than 3 days to prepare is usually outstanding. They win about 3/4 of those games.
62 and 32 to be exact.
There you go. I knew you'd have that.
You asked?
2/3 of the games. I ask and you deliver.
I'm there
I was
to
a
deliver.
point guard. I set
Again,
you
I
up.
deliver the gifts. I'm still waiting for your gift. Black misses the first free throw. And the second. Black only a 58% free throw shooter, so we shouldn't be surprised. Opening minute. First semifinal game of the Ohio Valley Conference Tournament.
Austin Peay's got to get comfortable at a pace because they clearly score more points, 71 to 59, but they don't want to play artificially fast and get out of their comfort zone.
Jumper by Channels doesn't go. Tracked down by Peterson.
See, Samford is more than happy to walk it up the floor, get themselves in that big space. And look at the spacing, Lou. Everybody has room to work. That's one of the beauties of this offense, is the reverse dribble. That triggers the backdoor cut on the weak side. That's what the key is for that.
There's Galena to the bucket, lays it up and in. Drove right through the gut of the Austin Peay defense.
That's the big spacing we talk about. You got to get out. If you can't make threes with this, it can't work because you've got to stretch the defense. But once you do, it opens up the backdoor cuts and the dribble drive.
3-point shots and layups.
That'd be a perfect
Numbers
game.
again. 8 3-pointers made a game. They average 11 layups a contest. When was the last time you saw a team, as Reed's jumper doesn't go, get 11 layups in a game?
Well, this is what this is. That'd be a perfect game. And there's one of the threes right there. That'd be nothing but layups, threes, and free throws for them. And that's another big statistic, is how many times they get to the free throw line. You got to keep an eye on that.
Austin Peay gives it up, turned over by Channels. 2-0, Samford in front. Thanks to the Galena bucket.
Real nerves here, I think. This is obviously the stakes increase, and I think you're seeing it early, a little bit jittery, both teams.
Smith, left-handed dribble, finds Merritt. Merritt pulls up, southpaw. Shot wouldn't go. 4 southpaws on this team for Samford.
Great for baseball, maybe, but actually the significance of that here. I got to tell you about the free throw numbers, though. The Governors have shot 689 on the year. Samford's only shot 477. That's why I say that's a number to look at. That's an area they can't get dominated, putting the opposition on the line. It's going to be one.
Lockett goes to the bucket, off the glass, and he'll go to the line.
Right on cue, as they not only score, but a chance to go to the free throw line. They just can't put you on the line. It negates the advantage they get. Look at the great move, initiates the strong finish to the goal, and picks up the contact and the possible three-point play.
Fernandez Lockett at the free throw line, 71% free throw shooter. Puts Austin Peay up 3-2. Coach Luce told me he's the biggest surprise so far this season. I said, maybe Drake Reed. He said, no. Reed worked so hard off the court. I expected he'd turn himself into a great player. Lockett's one of those guys that needs to be prodded and pushed, and he's really done it all on his own this year, which has been a bit of a surprise. Galena looks for room, has it blocked. Austin Peay the other way. Wright's jumper goes. Derek Wright.
It's been a very unusual lineup they've been playing with since they've gone to it. They're 14-1 since they've gone to basically 4, to use a car term, mid-sizes. They've gone to 4 mid-size guys on the perimeter and even in the front court, and the 1 point guard. They've been outstanding, and that's one of the reasons they take care of the ball, and also a team that spaces the floor very well.
Galena, left-handed dribble, bodied there by West Channels. And Channels called for the foul. We'll talk about it after this timeout. Austin Peay, an early 3-point lead. Presented by Dick's Sporting Goods. Samford's made just one of its first 4 shots. They trail by 3, 5-2.
One of the things you look at when you see a team that runs the Princeton offense is a couple of the triggers. Here's one of them. So we go inside the play. The backdoor cut is triggered by the reverse dribble. And take a look here. As the ball gets reversed, you're trying to create spacing and movement. Now watch. As he's going to make the spin dribble right here. Stop it. That's the trigger for the wingman to make a backdoor cut. That every time he makes that spin dribble, it's going to start the backdoor cut. Now watch. You see it creates the good spacing, then the entry pass. Now he vacates. And again, look at all of that room in the lane. That's why you get so many layups, because you don't have to be lightning quick, but you got to be quick enough to take advantage of a matchup set up by the backdoor cut, the great spacing, and making sure that there's room to operate the center of the floor. Every player, it's what's perfect team basketball. Because if one guy doesn't do his job, he throws the whole thing out of joint.
Coach Jimmy Tillett incorporated the Princeton offense back in 1997, and he told me today at the team shoot-around, you need to be so patient. I asked, why has the team turned it around the last 2 games? He said, they finally listened to me. They're letting the shot clock run down.
Well, that's one of the reasons. He has an interesting philosophy. He's only got 1 non-red shirt on the whole roster, so he really wants them to come in and learn for a year. Kind of the old school, and they used to be a freshman team, but he kind of builds that into his varsity program, and that's how they get acclimated.
Shot clock now down to 3. The jumper comes up short. Reed the other way. Back down low. Reed posts up. Peterson. His shot wouldn't go. Loose on the floor. Black touched it, and his foot was on the line, so it will stay with Austin Peay at this end. Fresh shot clock.
That was a great shot, obviously, on the block, but we've talked about how important it is for Austin Peay to win that field goal percentage battle, so they can't come up empty on those good close-in shots.
Babington for 3, comes up short. He was hot on Tuesday night in the team's victory, but not that time.
There you see, oh, that's another great fundamental play.
Boy, Peterson caught Austin Peay sleeping on defense.
Well, 2 things that happened there. Number 1, you violated the rule. Never lose sight of the ball. Watch, well, you can't see it out of the picture, but he notices the defender has lost sight of the basketball. Anytime you lose sight of the basketball, you're susceptible. And also, Peterson was a point guard in high school before a 6-inch growth spurt. He's comfortable passing the ball.
He went up with it there and had it rejected by Lockett. 5-2, Austin Peay in front.
The guy was a point guard. What a dream that is. 6 inches of all his point guard skills. Coach can use that.
Yeah,
certainly. It's a perfect system for him to use that.
High school in Glendale, Arizona, and his coach said, "What happened to you over the summer?" Reed's jumper goes.
They needed that. Get him off the schneid. He has been the leader. 22 consecutive double-figure scoring games and that great shooting percentage we talked about at the top of the show.
54% from the field, Reed shoots. 7-2, Austin Peay in front. Merritt thought about it, put it on the floor. Peterson decides to take it, and he hits it.
That's just what we talked about. How nice. 6'10 guys able to set a screen, step back, kick it to him, and that looks smooth as silk.
He shoots 35% from three-point range. Averages just over 11 a game. Reed. Defended by Peterson.
It's a very interesting stat here as you look. Samford, they will foul you. They don't come out and chase you. They're not going to give up layups or threes. They kind of half it defensively, and they get after you there.
There's Reed, who got it out to right, and the three-pointer wouldn't go.
But they won't bend their defense out of shape. It's a great thing. What's the sense of making layups if you're just going to turn and give them up in the other end? So
you talked about the lack of fouls that Samford commits. They commit only 14.5 fouls a game, 7th best in the country.
That's why I said they only shoot 477 free throws in the year. They've only put the opposition on 419 times. That's 200 plus fewer than Austin Peay.
Merritt's jumper wouldn't fall. Lockett runs with it.
They fly back, though. Wow, that's deep.
Babington's three wouldn't go. But Reed pulls it down, and he's fouled by Jason Black.
Big, as we talked about, the one area you point to, Austin Peay's lack of offensive rebounds. That was a good one by Reed. He's really stepping up from not just scoring. That's what they needed, a little presence on the offensive glass.
Reed gives him about 6 boards a game. Not a great offensive rebounder. Best offensive rebounder on the team is Fernandez Lockett. Wright takes a seat. In Landon Shipley for Austin Peay.
I call it halving it. Look at how they defend. They're not chasing. Slide behind screens. If you're going to get ready to shoot it, they'll close out. But this is where they're protected. They want to make sure you're not shooting layups. Take to the post.
Reed throws it up, but he's fouled on the floor by Travis Peterson. For Peterson, that's his first 13 foul.
Good switch on the screen on the baseline out of bounds.
Channels, pulls up, comes up short. Smith pulls down the rebound. Samford 16 and 15, 12 and 8 in conference play. Smith thought about it, put it on the floor. Back out, Peterson, another three-point attempt. That time he missed everything.
Yeah, chip you had to Reed, though. That's a great closeout on the shooter. He shot that with a little bit of a hurriedness to it because Reed was flying at him. You got to close out on shooters. Good reaction by Drake Reed. But look at the separation of all the defenders. Just Well, as I said, halving it's the term we used to use. Just make sure you're contained.
Lockett's jumper goes.
That's a great shot, but that pretty much is what Jimmy Tillett says. If that's the one that's going to beat us, that's it. A mid-range shot off the bounce. We'll take our chances. We think we'll get more layups and threes to offset that. So.
And they dare you to take that three. They lay off you so much.
Well, but then they close. Once you show you're going to shoot it, then they close on you. But do you want to shoot mid-range shots off the bounce? They're not going to let you, but that's the shot they want you to take.
Curtis West in the game. Finds Peterson. Peterson backing in on Reed. West all alone for three. The line drive doesn't go. Lockett another rebound.
Oh, nice presence. And in the transition.
Babington got it back to Lockett. Tied up there. And West pulls it right out of his hands.
That's the other thing, though. Really, this is every part of the Samford plan has to fit. Is that great defensive transition or what? Three guys in the lane there.
And turnovers are so important against a team like Samford because they limit your shots. Peterson, backdoor, finds Galena. Good defense there by Channels. Galena, the fadeaway short jumper falls. He has four.
They made him earn it, though. You're right, Lou. That was pretty good defense.
2-point game.
That's a good screen.
Shipley finds Reed. Reed fronts Peterson, decides to take the jumper and hits. Second one from the same spot.
I was going to say, if he can make that shot, that's enormous because that is what they're susceptible to. You see they allow that pass there, and then they just man up. But he's been able to just plant, and as you said, almost the identical position.
Reed has scored in double figures the last 22 games, averaging 17 points a contest over that span. Smith tracks it down. Backing in on Shipley.
They're trying to get somebody to nibble. What they're trying to do with that is get somebody to double down, then find a shooter. They stayed home on the shooters, though. Good defense.
Call the foul on Shipley. Timeout on the floor. Fernandez, Lockett, and Austin P up 4. 11 from the floor, and they trail by 4, 11-7. Game 2 of the Ohio Valley Conference semis here on ESPNU. Later tonight, Tennessee Tech against Eastern Kentucky. The Ohio Valley Conference semifinals, part of championship week, presented by Dick's Sporting Goods on ESPNU tonight, 8:30 Eastern.
Good matchups there. Each team won on their home court. Tennessee Tech, Eastern Kentucky. As you look at the brackets, how the teams got here. Just that one upset, which, as you said, was a 5-4. But still, those first-round games are on-campus sites. So they had to go on the road to do it. So it's an impressive win for Samford.
In that win, Samford shot 75% from the floor in the second half against Murray State.
That'll win you a lot of games. Yeah. I know from coaching, I shot 75%.
I was going to ask you how many teams you coach shot 75% in a half.
Not too often, I'll tell you. I don't see that very frequently. 15 for 20, pretty extraordinary. And speaking of shooting percentage, we talked about the number for Austin P, even though they're only shooting 38%, holding Samford to 27. So again, outshooting the opposition and unbeaten when they've done that this year.
Shipley takes the three about 4 feet behind the line. Lockett fought for it down low. Brian Friday on the line as he touched the ball, so it will stay at this end of the court with Austin P.
Neither team really comfortable shooting behind the arc so far. You take a look, Samford 1 for 6, Austin P 0 for 6. An offensive rebound so far already. That was the third now for Austin P after a game where they only had 6 the whole game last time.
Reed to Channels. Channels three goes.
You knew as soon as we said they weren't shooting well, somebody was going to knock one down.
Channels moved into the lineup after Kyle Duncan went down with an injury. He started first game of his career against Eastern Kentucky. Came out with 22 points and 8 rebounds.
You talked about defending this Princeton attack. Austin Peay's done a pretty good job of it so far. They have really not given up very much easy. A couple inside shots. That one deep three by Peterson. But other than that, that's the only three-pointer. There's a great cut. Oh, that's perfect.
Smith lays it up and in. That was run to perfection.
That's exactly what they're looking for. Just keep knocking on the door, keep that spacing, make those cuts. And boy, it's so easy. It's so nice when you can get easy baskets. That makes all the difference in close games.
Back to the bucket. Channels loses it going up. West is called for the foul. 14 foul on Samford. Jimmy Tillett spent 6 years and is an assistant at Samford under John Brady. Channels hits the first. Here comes Merritt back. Friday takes a seat.
Kind of interesting even already for Austin P. I mean, not a lot of points scored. It's 59, yet they've had 4 different guys who've scored. That's kind of been the story of their year for all the great individual guys we highlighted. It's really been a team effort all year long.
Reed, another offensive rebound. That time, Channel's 3 wouldn't go.
They aren't getting to the offensive glass, though, which is, as I said, not surprising. Samford is minus 3.8 a game rebound margin. So for all Austin Peay's problems there, they get out rebounded too, not by as big a margin. They're the better of the 2 rebounding teams.
Smith way behind the line, in and out. It doesn't go. Not a spin there, but couldn't get it to fall. 15-9, Austin Peay in front as we approach the 7-minute mark here in the first half. Reed on the floor.
Nice kick. See the mid one, they're kind of daring you for the mid-range. Well, they're drawing fouls. You know, they're doing the things, Lou, you already talked about it. Samford doesn't put you on the line. They're fouling here a little bit, and they're getting outshot. Not a good start for Samford.
Samford hanging in there, but they trail by 6. Running the back door to perfection there. Austin Peay has traveled well. They lead by 6, 15-9. They've done a terrific job on the rebounding end, out-rebounding Samford, 15-7 thus far. Head coach Dave Luce. Not only the head coach of the basketball team, but as my partner said, Bob Valvano, the only Division I head coach to also own the dual role of athletic director.
Yeah. Ang Mitchell gave up the athletic directorship at Coppin State to concentrate on basketball. He was the only other one doing it. So now Dave is all by his lonesome. I'll say one thing, I bet the baseball coach gets treated well. He loves baseball.
He was a pretty good baseball player as Babington knocks down the home run.
Yeah, that's a very nice tie-in. Just like that, it's 18-9, and they're just kind of methodically getting this done. Nothing spectacular. They're just plugging along, out-shooting Samford, defending him very well.
Well, they've defended this guy, Randall Galena, pretty well. Galena only with 3 shot attempts so far in the game, 4 points. Leads the league in scoring at 18 points a contest. Down low, Smith tied up by Reed.
Great defense. What they're doing is kind of, again, I hate to keep using that term, but it is what it is. They're halving it. They're not fully creating a double team, and they're not staying at home on the shooter so you can play one-on-one. They're kind of faking at them, but they're still close enough to the shooters. They won't give them easy looks. Austin Peay with the big advantage on the glass. More than 2-to-1 ratio.
And Samford just 4 of 14 from the floor. Galena looking for room. They've got Lockett on Galena now.
That was a desperation. Beat the buzzer try. Great defense by Dave Luce's bunch. They're really defending this very well right now.
Shipley around the horns. Babington down to Lockett. Lockett fronts Merritt. Puts it on the floor. To the bucket he goes. Lays it up off the glass and in. Wow, that was pretty. Fernandez Lockett, 6'5", 210. Moved like he was a guard there.
And they have all the momentum going here, and certainly Jimmy Tillett picked it up, and he knows that they've got a visit about this. 20-9. Watch this. Little jab step once, twice. Gets him to bite the second time. Peterson a little bit slow to come over and help. He's really got to go and play. Watch this area right there. That's where he's got to be. Big fella, even if he's not going to block the shot, he's got to go plant his 2 legs there and make sure that the guy runs him over. A little bit slow getting in the help position. That's a layup and a great finish by Lockett.
We're at the Gaylord Entertainment Center in Nashville, Tennessee, the Ohio Valley Conference Tournament. I'm Lou Canellis. Bob Valvano's alongside. Austin Peay in the white. Samford wearing the blue. Governors in front 20-9. 6:07 left to play here in the first half. Austin Peay's done a terrific job of defending the Princeton-style offense that Samford likes to run. And they've come up with the shot when they needed it on the offensive end. Lockett leading the way in this game with 7.
That door, there you see, off the reversal, and now a turnover, and ooh, they are in danger here of not having to play a style they don't want to play. They don't want to have to come down and take quick shots to get themselves back in this thing. This is predicated, as you mentioned, Lou, on patience and kind of wearing you down a little bit at a time. It's an erosion.
Well, Dave Luce told me that he was going to play man-to-man defenses, which is usually what Austin Peay plays, but he said, I wanted my man-to-man to be even more aggressive tonight than usual. Babington's three was short, and we've seen that so far.
Well, they've made good decisions too. You know, you always talk about shot selection on offense. Defensively, you got selections to make. When to double, when to stay home, when to how and when to rotate. They're making pretty good decisions right now.
Smith gets it to Galena. Galena's three, in and out. West had it, lost it. Galena back at the other end.
That is a tough son of a gun right there. He's the one who shot the three and then went and got it and initiates the contact, and he was a collision waiting to happen there.
Listen to this. Coach Galena told me today at the shoot-around that he thinks Galena's been playing with a torn meniscus the last 3 weeks. And he won't sit down. He's a senior. He wants to be there as much as he can on the floor right now.
Well, if he is, he's playing pretty effectively because he's not out there hobbling. You see that right leg is bandaged a bit as we get a substitution. Black comes back in for Samford, but just look at the numbers in the first round. 10 of 11 from the stripe. But you're getting to the line that much. You're making the gritty plays.
80% free throw shooter. Knocks down a pair, 20-11. We're under 5 minutes to go here in the first half. Reed looking for room. Fadeaway jumper doesn't go. Track down is missed. Dishes it off to Babington, who lays it up and in. What work there by Reed.
They are doing the things that really got them this unbelievable regular season. Great balance. We've already talked about all 5 starters have scored. And they're going in and out. They've made a couple of threes. They're getting layups, playing good defense, and rebounding really better than they have in a lot of games.
Peterson, the back door. Black lays it up and in. Boy, Black got by Shipley. The feed from Peterson. He's a very good passer for a guy his size at 6'10", 230 from the top of the key. Lays it up and in. He'll go to the line.
Well, we talked about there's the spin and the reversal. And anytime the ball gets reversed and they dribble at that wing, that's the passing angle. Difficult to defend because this weak side guy doesn't have enough time to rotate over. See, Wright just doesn't have enough time to get there. He's coming. There's Wright coming into your picture, but he can't get there that quickly because the ball has just been reversed. He's gone from strong side defense to weak. He's not thinking about helping out that quickly, and that's what gives Black that crease to get to the basket.
Passing so important in this offense as well, right, Bob?
Well, as I said, you know, everybody's got to be able to do everything. You got to cut, you got to pass, you got to screen, you got to space, you got to be patient. It helps when your 6'10" center used to be a point guard.
22-13. Lockett cross court. Babington tied up and lost it.
No rush though. They get their easy baskets off backdoor cuts. You got to have some easy baskets or you're not going to win a basketball game. But they get them off backdoor cuts, maybe off their defense a little bit, usually off backdoor cuts, not looking to run very much.
Peterson's three-point attempt falls. Travis Peterson, 35% from three-point range. That's his 50th of the year.
That's a little slow, but you got to get, you know he's going to shoot it. This is he's 6'10". We have enough data, Lou, to know he's going to shoot that. Again, a half is look at the defense. Everybody in the position to take away the lane first. Then they'll chase you on the perimeter if you think you're going to shoot a three.
Channel's looking for room, just eaten up there by Peterson.
No room to go. We just told you everybody was in the lane, and most notably the 6'10" guy. Just like that, they're back in, and that three is a great deficit eater. They're trying to get you to bite and then kick it out. Fake the backdoor, cut off the reversal. That wing can either go backdoor or come to the top for a dribble rub. That time he went through on the backdoor. You saw Smith cut backdoor. The defense again, though. But there it is.
There it is again, and Merritt lays it up and in. Again, Peterson with the feed from the top of the key.
4 ball reversals, though. They went left, right, left, right. Actually, a fifth, I guess. It went back to the left side again before the backdoor cut. Terrific patience. Take a look at the top. Look at the wing. There he goes. Again, we just drew it up for you before. Nobody on that side of the picture able to come help. Why? Still right here. These guys are defending strong side, okay? So now when it goes to the top, right there, unless you make that quick move, it's too late. Unless you jump back in the lane as soon as the ball goes to the top, it's too late. You got to go strong side to weak side like that.
Shot clock was down to 5.
That
so if you're Austin, but if you're Austin Peay, you're like, boy, we defended so well for 30 seconds. College basketball on ESPNU continues tomorrow. Both Horizon League semifinal games. 5 o'clock Eastern, either Loyola or Illinois Chicago will take on number 16 Butler. 7 o'clock Eastern, Wisconsin Green Bay or Youngstown State against Wright State. The Horizon League semis, part of Championship Week, presented by Dick's Sporting Goods on ESPNU.
I had Wright State for Bracket Buster Saturday, and Butler correctly has gotten all the notoriety from that league, but that is a good Wright State team. They got a share of the regular season championship, and they are a good basketball team. That's going to be a terrific tournament.
And I'm a Loyola alum, and they knocked off Butler the other night at Hinkle Fieldhouse. Reed short jumper goes.
You think that was an accident when the game got wobbly? Where do they go? They go to Reed in the lane, that mid-range game, which is the most, that's what they're most susceptible to, the way the Samford team plays defense. That's a great job out of the timeout by Dave Luce and his team.
He's their leading scorer, 16 points a game. The Ohio Valley Conference Player of the Year. Drake Reed.
Dribble at the wing, back door. There it is. That's the key. Dribble at the wing, back door. And the reason you can't, well, the common answer is, well, then why don't they just go defend the back door? Because if you overplay the back door, that guy comes to the top and he'll shoot a 3 off a dribble rub. So pick your poison.
Channels,
beautiful dish
over to Lockett, who lays it up and got the roll.
What a great start. He's got 9 points. And again, Austin Peay continues to get good percentage shots, and that is their bread and butter. Watch as he dribbles at the wing. Started off. There's the spin. He's going back door. Now he clears out. And replace the penetrator. 3. Good execution. No result, though, off the miss.
Peterson's shot wouldn't go. Channels runs with it. Channels up. Has it rejected there by Merritt. Will stay at this end of the floor. 28 seconds left on the shot clock. 42.7 on the game clock. Fernandez, Lockett, and Austin Peay still lead by 6. Fernandez, Lockett, and Drake Reed with 15 of the team's 26 points. Austin Peay up 6, 26-20. Log on to ESPNU.com. This online gateway will connect you to all the college sports content from ESPN, combining the latest news with an expanded collection of new exclusive material, scores, video, audio, highlights, and much more. Again, log on to ESPNU.com. We are college sports. 42.7 seconds left here in the first half. 26-20, Austin Peay in front. And with the basketball, that's Reed.
Austin Peay's got the edge from the field still, 44 to 38%. Both teams picking it up some. That's short.
Babington's 3 wouldn't go. And now Samford will play for the last shot here in the first half.
I just wanted to ask guys, though. I'd be curious to visit with the Samford guys. Is it fun to play this way? You know, it's so atypical of schoolyard basketball, but if you love the game as I do, it's fun to watch. I'll tell you what. Look at that kick.
Merritt for 3. And that's the end of the first half. Fernandez, Lockett leading the way for Austin Peay. 9 points, 4 of 5 from the field to go along with 4 rebounds. He and his teammates lead Samford by 6, 26-20 here at the break.
This is Sports Center U.
We start you off with the best highlight of the day so far. Georgia State and William & Mary. Under 10 seconds to go. William & Mary down 2. Adam Payton drives for the tie. Yes, he gets fouled. Makes the free throw. They're up 1 with 4.7 seconds left. Last chance for Georgia State. Leonard Mendez just past the half-court line. Heaves it. Oh, basketball. And Georgia State wins 70-68 in the best thing we've seen so far.
Samford got back in the game. Fernandez Lockett's been terrific so far for Austin Peay.
Yeah, he has, but Samford got back by doing what they do, which is just keep the pressure on, run that Princeton offense, and get great looks at the basket. And Samford's really just going to have to dance with the girl that brung him, because this is the way they play. Good comeback at the end of that half.
And as I said, Lockett led the way all scorers with 9 points in the first half.
All right, well, certainly, as we said, plenty of things to look at. As you see the great finish to the basket right there. And then the pull-up jumper, that's the mid-range part of the game that they are susceptible. Lockett did a great job of that. Take a look here. Watch now at the top right there. Stop it. This is where the defense forces you to make a decision. When the ball's in the middle, it's hard to tell who's on the strong side, who's on the weak side. So that backdoor cut is open. Watch, same principle here. The ball gets recentered right here. And now you can't tell who's on the strong side and who's on the weak side. So they make an entry pass here. Go ahead and run it and take a look at the ball where it gets reversed one more time to the top. And now this guy's going to make that cut. Now you just went from being a weak side defender to the strong side defender, not able to make that adjustment that quickly. Got a lot of pressure on all 5 positions on the floor.
We saw Travis Peterson at the top of the key, 6'10". Do a nice job of distributing the basketball. Some of the first half numbers: Samford 36% from the floor, Austin Peay 42%. Neither teams shot well from three-point range.
That's the number, though. Austin Peay unbeaten when they outshoot you. Louis keeps saying it, but that's, you know, right now at this point in the season, you are who you are, and that is an instrumental part of who they are in their success. They got to shoot a high percentage than you do, and so far they're doing it.
Bulldogs, that's Peterson. Belina, league's leading scorer, number 34, takes the 3, held to 4 points in the first half, knocks down the triple to open up the second half, and he's fired up.
I can't believe Dave Luce would want them to go down and double. You know, let them play low post offense. You don't want to give up layups or threes. You go to the post, they are finding shooters, and they found him right there. Galena delivered.
Belina averages 18 points a game. Again, held to 4 in the first half. Lockett decides to take the turnaround jumper and hits. Why not? He has 11.
That's magnificent work. He made 2 complete pivots without wasting his dribble. Made a fake spun, nothing there. Fake spun, nothing there. Then used the bounce to set up the jumper. Nice. They say the game gets slower for the better players, and he just looked like he was strolling the park right there, Lou.
16 points, 11 rebounds for Lockett in the second meeting against Samford. Belina throws it up and in.
You know what, though? Dave Luce, you say that's the one that's going to beat us with that. Go ahead, because that's not a layup or a 3. That is a contested runner. Tough shot.
He had 20 against Murray State Tuesday night.
And Sanford's not going to chase you. They don't want to give up. When you chase, you give up the layups or the kick-out 3s, and obviously that's what they're trying to take away from him.
Shot clock down to 7.
Going to have to go off. He's going to just try and create right here. Let's see what they can get.
Channels to the bucket, lays it up, comes up short.
Could be a block, I think. A blocking foul. Yes, it is.
Good call. Blocking foul on Merritt. His second foul. Team first here in the second half. Dave Luce. This year's Ohio Valley Conference Coach of the Year. 5th time he's won the award. Channels knocks down the first. Five-point game. 30-25.
The pressure here, and that's always interesting because it takes away their rhythm on offense, but when you play like they do, they want you to chase them. They like when you chase them because they're great counter punchers. So you got to pick your spots. That was a little token pressure just to kind of disrupt the rhythm. Now they're back in the man-to-man. Interesting little cat and mouse going on there.
Peterson all alone. Feed from Black.
I think that would count as a layup, wouldn't you?
Yes, sir. Have you been counting?
I haven't, but I'll tell you what. I can remember off the top of my head at least 6. So
they average 11 layups a game. They're right near their average. That's Lockett, defended by Peterson. Finds Wright. Right by Peterson, but Peterson grabs the miss.
And you got to tip your hat to Austin Peay's spacing as well. We've made so much of Samford spacing. It's so important in that Princeton offense. But Austin Peay, they do a nice job at 4-6-5 perimeter guys. Understand how to let each other have some room to work. And then Wright, of course, the glue that holds it all together.
Austin Peay won the regular season title in the Ohio Valley Conference. A bit of a surprise.
What a delivery by Peterson. I'll tell you what, that is a confident pass. He just flashed to the high post. Watch him flash to the elbow right here, and then look at this passing angle. I mean, they must all be good billiard players or miniature golfers, because they understand angles as well as any team in the country. Every place that there's a way to squeeze the ball through, they find a way to do it.
But as you said in the first half, Bob, Peterson was a point guard in high school at Mountain Ridge High School in Glendale, Arizona. Then between his sophomore and junior year, he grew 6 inches, so they moved him from the point guard position, but he still knows how to pass.
I mean, 6 inches over the summer. As you're looking at him, do you actually, are you watching him expand before your eyes? I can't fathom that.
What was he eating is all I want to ask. That way I can feed my child the same thing when he's that age. 2-point game. It's as close as Samford's been in a while.
Switch the screens, which you're able to do on this team because they're all basically the same size.
Lockett right around Galena, lays it up with the left hand, doesn't go. Back up with it is Channels, and that time it's in.
Now, this is what they made their living on all year, is the great balance. And you see it here. Lockett carries in the first half. Reed has made some timely buckets, even though he's only got 6. And now Channel stepping up to the plate.
Reed 16 points a game. Lockett 11 points a game. Babington 9 a contest. Channel 7 a ball game. Wright 8 a ball game. You're right, that's balance. Galena throws up the 3 and hits.
Man,
on fire here in the second half.
He's just a gamer. Hey, look at his ad. Look at the eyes. Want a game face? Take a shot of that.
Give him the basketball. He has 8 here in the second half.
You know why? Wants to keep playing. Doesn't want the season to end. Doesn't want his career to end.
Senior. Down low, Reed. Throws it up with the left hand.
That's not a play. Dave Lou signaling X here now. I'm not sure what that's going to mean defensively here. Let's take a look. They're going to look to trap. Reversal high post. There's the backdoor cut there. Not there. Reverse it again. That's 4 reversals on this possession. Here's 5. There's the backdoor cut and a layup.
Nice job.
I mean, it's just...
It's poetry in motion. When it's run perfectly, Bob, it's poetry in motion.
It's just relentless. And well executed. That was pretty good defense for 3 quarters, but it's that last quarter that makes or breaks it. We got a barn burner here. 1-point game. It doesn't look like it's going to change in the near future. They are trading punches now.
Last time these two teams met, it was a 2-point game, 52-50, won by Austin Peay. Fouls called on Peterson. They do it outside. Brando Galena, league's leading scorer. And they do it inside with the best of them with the back door.
Championship week, March 1st through 11th.
33 semifinal round of the Ohio Valley Conference tournament. Game 2 of the Ohio Valley Conference semifinals here on ESPNU. Later tonight, Tennessee Tech against Eastern Kentucky. The Ohio Valley Conference semis, part of Championship Week. Presented by Dick's Sporting Goods. And there are some of the scoring leaders in the conference. Randall Galena, we're watching him. Perry opened up. First half, he had just 4 points, 10 already here in the second half. Coming up in our second game, the backcourt of Rivers and Fisher for Tennessee Tech.
Yeah, this is a great matchup in that one. How about those two teams? 19-12, 19-11, both 13-7 in the league. So that's about as even as you can get there.
The number 2 and 3 seeds in the conference tournament. Here it's 5 seed Samford, trailing by 1, 34-33 against the top seed Austin Peay. West Channels knocking down the triple.
Now, I really like that because I told you they kind of half it defensively, and now a little full court pressure. Almost a steal. They still get it.
Reed fighting. West comes up with it.
And they still wind up with it.
Merritt tracks it down.
Oh, my. That was a little, I've got it, you've got it, I've got it, you've got it. That was back and forth. Looked like they'd stolen it twice. They are going to get it.
Tried to get it down to Galena, threw it between the legs.
Well, that's a nice job out of the timeout. Dave Luce rolling the dice. But I started to say offensively they did a great job. If they half it as they do defensively, throw that pass all the way over the top, one side of the court to the other, and get that three-point shot. You see Austin Peay's finally got one. A good look there to make their first three in the second half. And opened it up and then set their press up.
Had his shot blocked by Peterson. So we'll stay with Austin Peay. You also saw Samford 2 for 2 from three-point range here in the second half. By the way, that turnover for Samford, just their second in the game.
It's only been 6 in the entire game. These teams are, don't they know we have the hall rendered all night? They're playing like we got to get out of here. Taking care of the basketball beautifully with so much on the line. Yeah, that's the pass I like right now. Now you make them make a decision.
Shipley right around his defender. His jumper wouldn't fall. Came up short, and Peterson pulls down the miss.
That's all right, though. Why is that important? Because if they're going to half it and play in that lane and twitch in between, you throw it over the top, you make a decision. You're going to come out. If you are, then we got some driving lanes. If you don't, that guy's got to be willing to shoot the three, as Channels do just a moment ago. Now the surgeons go back to work. Here we go.
Peterson takes the three and hits.
Obviously, if a guy can't make that shot, this offense isn't nearly as effective, because he's got to pull that defender out to play. And that's a great weapon. Peterson at 6'10", and now he gets the steal.
Couple of threes in the game for Peterson. You called it, the steal as well. Peterson 3 for 6 from three-point range.
And there's the starter's pistol. Let the reversals begin.
Down low, Galena uses the right hand that time for Peterson, his 5th assist. And Samford with the 38-37 lead, their first lead of the game.
Fake the ball reversal this time. That you're seeing the tail end of it. They faked the reversal, brought it back, and the big guy delivered it to the block for the layup. Samford by a point.
38-37. Take us to the play that gave him the advantage.
Right, Peterson's going to replace himself here. He starts through, and now he's going to come back out, and that's going to open up the post up for Galena. Watch it. Here we go. Peterson comes back, replaces himself, and Galena goes through, opens up, and there's the layup. That disguised what they had been doing before, which was when Galena goes through, he's looking for the pass off the reversal. This time they faked that. Peterson replaced himself as he went through. He opened up. And as I said, every possession, you have a half of a second where you're just not aware of what's going on. They're going to make you pay with an easy one.
We featured Galena and Reed in Star Watch in our pregame, and Galena with 10 points here in the second half, leading the charge. Three-point attempt wouldn't fall. Merritt gobbles it up.
Well, they went to Channels out of the last timeout for the three. They got a great look for him in the corner, just not able to get it to go down, and now they got to go and absolutely all 5 guys be on their game defensively. There's the backdoor cut.
To Galena again. This time he's fouled with Channels on his back, and Galena will go to the line.
That's fun for a coach, because each layer's building on the other. They start to recognize one thing, you give them the same look, but it's a different cut. That time the big spacing, the backdoor from the wing.
Samford with an opportunity to extend its advantage. They lead 38-37. Samford leads Austin Peay 38-37. Randall Galena, leading scorer in the conference, 10 points here in the second half. What's he been able to do here?
Everything. Off the bounce, creates for himself with the good spacing. He takes it to the basket. Watch here, off the cut, a little too deep for the layup. Has the presence of mind to spin and use the backboard. And they played zone, the long diagonal pass, and the rainbow three, showing the great perimeter shooting, which of course he's so good at. And then here, playing without the ball, that was the last basket. They faked the reversal. He faked going through, came back, posted up, and he has also given just a bit of enthusiasm to this team. He is fired up.
16 points, 6 of 8 from the field. Adds to that total. Now with 17.
If you're Austin Peay, I'll tell you, you really need to be concerned. He has got the look of a guy that's not going to let his team be denied. He's just put him on his shoulders and saying, come on, fellas, we're playing again on Saturday.
13th on Samford's all-time scoring list. The senior out of Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
See out of the timeout if Dave Luce looks for something.
Reed puts it on the floor, takes it right to the bucket, comes up short.
That's what they looked for. They said Reed's got to get back involved here. They posted him up. He missed, and then they get a rebounding foul. So now Samford looking to get a little separation here.
Foul is on Reed. That's his second. Third team foul. Here's some of that pressure we've seen off and on applied by Austin Peay.
Well, as I said, it's going to roll the dice a little bit. They're getting a little comfortable in their offense. You want to make sure you're trying to disrupt that rhythm, but it's dangerous. They're great counter punchers, and here they go.
Merritt to the bucket, lays it up and in. Smith with the feed.
That's you want to press us? Go ahead. You do it at your peril, because we are going to counter punch you. And that was a beautiful job. Not dribbling the ball under pressure. Big spacing. Same principles as in their half court.
Bulldogs now lead by 5 over the Governors. Jerry Smith called for the foul. Can't believe it.
He looks amused by it all.
What, me? Not me.
I don't think he's buying it, Lou. But unfortunately, he has no vote for himself.
Pretty good baseball player his freshman season at Samford. Here comes Peterson back. Quick breather from Jim Griffin.
Both teams not real deep benches. They are keeping it close to the vest here in the postseason. Not a lot of minutes to go around. They keep it to about 7 significant minutes.
To the bucket. No one picked up Derek Wright down the baseline. Three-point lead for the Bulldogs.
I like that, though. I think that made a lot of sense. You can't just sit back and try and counter this terrific half-court offense. Change it up a little bit. They showed him a zone one time. That time they showed him a couple of possessions of pressure. And then they got a turnover.
West walked with it. So now Austin Peay with an opportunity to close within 1 or tie this game.
I'm going to say 4th in the country in turnovers permitted. Just barely 10.5.
3 in this game. That time Austin Peay turns it over. West comes up with the steal, and Smith almost ended up in our floor director's lap.
Thanks for stopping in. You saw the candy bars we have here. He wanted to help himself, I guess. There he is, right near us. Great hustle, but we would expect nothing less. 2 well-coached teams and 2 teams that have put together really solid seasons. As you mentioned, Lou, Samford was picked to win it, and they may be a little disappointed with their regular season, but certainly playing well late. And this Austin Peay team, one of the great surprise stories in the country, picked 6th the regular season outright champions.
No seniors, 6 juniors on this Austin Peay team. First time Dave Lutz has coached a team with no seniors.
Obviously some great concern, I would think, if you're Austin Peay right now, because you just get a feel you're on your heels. They are kind of dictating the play. Look at this.
Wow, Peterson lost it going up. After the foul on Babington, Peterson had an opportunity there and just lost it. Slippery hands, and Derek Wright comes back and knocks down the jumper.
We've said that this is what they've been built on all year. Kind of, I guess, appropriate for a guy who loves baseball, like timely hitting. And now it's Derek Wright getting the big hits. The layup and then the jumper there, and he's fired up. He's inspiring his team. Close what was not a very big gap to begin with.
Couple of big buckets by the junior out of L.A. 42-41, 1-point game.
Defensive set here this time. Oh, that's
Smith to the bucket. Wow, just fought off the defender right. Didn't lose his composure. Used the glass. 44-41. Rocket pulls up. Not that time after a strong first half. Held scoreless here in the second half.
That was a big exchange right there. Defensively, they're picking up some confidence, and now they're going to force another turnover.
Smith carries it back the other way with Austin Peay.
The all-time assist leader here for the Samford Bulldogs, but as you see, capable of scoring as well off that last drive to the goal.
Jerry Smith, only player in Samford history with 900 points, 500 rebounds, and 400 assists.
We're going to take a short break right now.
Jason Black back. Shipley on the floor for Austin Peay. That's him with the basketball. Up top, Reed. Reed makes his move, pulls up, throws up the one-hander, and gets it to go, and he'll go to the line.
I don't think you have to worry about Drake Reed. This is a guy, only a sophomore. He has the great ability to allow the game to come to him. He's not going to force shots just because he's not scoring necessarily at the rate he normally does. Look at the great jump stop, the plant, and the finish. Draws the foul, splits two defenders, and then the good strong finish gets him in double figures. A guy who shoots 53+% from the floor. He's not going to force shots just because his scoring average is a little bit below what it normally is.
Yeah, 10 in this game. Had 27 against Tennessee State on Tuesday night. 31 against Arkansas State earlier this season. Converts the three-point play. We're tied at 44.
There's some speed. How about that?
West, now he's trapped. He calls a timeout.
This press has been effective for Austin Peay, even though they've given up a layup or two against it. It's taken the Bulldogs out of their comfort zone a little bit.
College basketball on ESPNU continues tomorrow. Both Horizon League semifinal games. First, 5 o'clock Eastern, either Loyola, Chicago, or Illinois, Chicago, against 16th ranked Butler. Then at 7 o'clock Eastern, Wisconsin, Green Bay, or Youngstown State face Wright State. The Horizon League semifinals, part of Championship Week, presented by Dick's Sporting Goods on ESPNU Saturday. Here we're tied at 44.
Big year for Butler, by the way. I mean, 26 regular season wins is pretty strong. And, of course, that tip-off NIT championship where I was fortunate enough to be broadcasting those games for ESPN Radio. And, boy, what a magical run they had, and a terrific 2 games in New York to win.
Did they get your attention in that preseason NIT? Because
Oh,
I had a few people in the Midwest telling me, oh, you know what, they got lucky.
It's obviously, were they tennis fans? Because they could have been watching basketball and think that.
Not that weekend. All the way at the other end, Derek Wright converts, and Austin Peay's back in front.
Just what we talked about. This is a team. First half, Lockett carries him. Wright stepping up here. He's got 6 in the second half and some big ones. And again, this press is giving them a little confidence, a little burst. You know what, Lou? They're attacking and not having to be back on their heels and just trying to react to what Samford's doing. A good bit of coaching by Dave Luce.
Galena got Lockett up in the air. He lost it going through the lane, but called for the foul.
And he called on the pass, which Jimmy Tillett says, come on, he's jumping, he's going to shoot it, but not going to get that call. He's going to get the foul call, but not in the act of shooting.
They call the foul on Lockett. That's his first 16th foul. Samford will start going to the free throw line from here on out. Pretty good free throw shooting team, 73%. Smith looking for room. He can't leave Peterson by himself. He misses that time. Knocked around, goes out of bounds, and it will go to Austin Peay. The Governors have gotten back in front, and they lead by 2.
An all-important field goal percentage number. Austin Peay still leading the way, shooting 42% for the 46%. Actually, I take that back. Samford now, I was looking at the first half numbers. That's a good omen for the Bulldogs. The Bulldogs now shooting 51% for the game. They're 81% in the second half, 9 for 11. There's the numbers. That does not bode well for the Governors because they do not win frequently when they are outshot.
And we shouldn't be surprised, Bob, because Samford, in their game Tuesday nights, shot 75% from the field in the second half against Murray State.
It's just extraordinary about this offense as you see a foul here. One of the things they cannot do, they don't want to put you on the free throw line. They just make their adjustments. You think that defensively maybe you get more comfortable, seeing this unusual offense, but it's the other way around. They start reacting to how you defend it. As I said, great counterpunchers, and the percentage in the second half extraordinary in this postseason.
Ball was on Merritt. That's his third 15 foul.
Trying very hard to get Reed the ball, and now they do.
Reed throws it up, and it goes.
Tough shot.
Got a nice bounce. Old for Peterson.
That's a soft touch over the big fella, the 6'10 Peterson, giving away 5 inches, but put it up with a nice soft touch. Shaking up just for a minute was Lockett, but he bounces right back up. And now the press again. His press has been significant. You gauge it not only by the steals, but just how many deflections, how many near steals. Just, you know, this team, when they played well offensively, they just get you back on your heels, and they're running like clockwork. All of a sudden, the press has come up. They're going in fits and starts a little bit. I think it's been a great move by Dave Luce.
And didn't you think it energized Austin Peay offensively when they started it?
I think it changed the whole mindset where they're attacking instead of standing back on their heels. They are not counter punchers. They want to get after you.
Smith finds West. Merritt battled down low with Babington. Smith around his defender, fouled on the floor. No shot, but he'll go to the line. Shoot 1 and 1. We're at the Gaylord Entertainment Center in Nashville, Tennessee. Ohio Valley Conference semifinal round. I'm Lou Canellis, Bob Valvano alongside. Samford wearing the blue jerseys, Austin Peay in the white. Smith hits the first free throw. He'll shoot another.
Good free throw shooter, up around 78%, and that could be very telling in a game like this.
Knocks down both. 48-46. Back to the 2-point game.
He doesn't want to go home either. Another senior wants to extend his career.
Out of Mississippi.
Well, he wanted it. He was calling for the ball.
Shipley's shot wouldn't go. Lockett there, fighting hard, throws it up with the left hand off the glass, and he'll go to the line.
I think that, you know, you said it before, Lou, with this press changed their attitude. How about Shipley comes in? He doesn't have a point yet. He's demanding the ball in the corner, expecting the shot. And you know what? It energizes people. And Lockett strong to the glass. The one area where they're not great, they only got 6 offensive rebounds the whole game in the semifinal, in the first round game, rather, of this tournament. But now doing it on the glass as well in the 3-point play for Lockett.
51-46. Austin Peay back in front now by 5.
There's a big stick back. And again, this press on their heels a little bit, making them have to adjust to the Governors. Now they get to second. And the merry-go-round to begin.
Galena over to Merritt. Merritt around his defender. Up and in. That was pretty.
Job. They do. If they look, you know, if nobody's open, it means that everybody's being overplayed. You have a driving lane with the great spacing. You have to take it. That's just what Merritt did. And all guys have to be able to put it to the floor and finish.
Merritt with 8.
Tough shot there.
In and out for Reed. Almost went back in. And Smith grabs the miss.
Boy, that is, Reed is fearless. You don't care. 6'10" guys, it doesn't matter. He's going to just put a little more rainbow on it, and it's got the feathery touch. I thought that was going to go back in the basket.
Reed, strong build, 6'5", 235, but as you said, going up against the guy 6'10". Galena down low, tied up.
That's the same play they ran before. Galena goes back to the post after Peterson comes out. Peterson goes through, comes out, replaces himself. Galena fakes like he's going through, opens up, and Peterson delivers it. Watch right there. That's the end of it. Peterson's come back out to the wing. Galena on the post. That time he's got 80% of the defense against him. Doesn't matter. Still draws the foul.
And he called the foul on Babington, his 4th. Galena hadn't scored in a while after opening up the second half with 10 points.
Coming into the game, they'd only taken 477 free throws. He had taken 158 of them, so that should give you an idea. The 6'1" perimeter guy, how strong a presence he is around the basket, cutting to the goal.
He demands the basketball. Reed has it knocked out of bounds. It will stay with Austin Peay. 24 seconds still left on the shot clock. Here comes Channels back. Jimmy Tollett.
You better hydrate, pal. It's going to be a battle down the stretch.
Samford's all-time winningest coach. He's taken the Bulldogs to a pair of NCAA tournaments. Now he wants to take them to the conference tournament championship game to be played here tomorrow night, 8 o'clock Eastern time, against the winner of the Tennessee Tech Eastern Kentucky game, to be followed after this game. To the bucket, Channel's shot wouldn't go. Down low, loose. Merritt gobbles it up.
What a terrific semifinal game we've got to get us started here. This is going to be blood and guts down the stretch. Not very much being left behind. These teams are Absolutely at both ends, getting after it on every possession.
2-point game. Austin Peay won both regular season meetings.
I will not give you the cliche about how tough to beat the team 3 times, but
Galena throws up the 3, doesn't go. Right on the floor, goes out of bounds off of West.
great presence of mind. The rule states if you fall down or stand up and don't dribble the basketball, it's a travel right as he's falling. Started his dribble to avoid the turnover. Great presence of mind by the junior. Let's see where they go here.
Shipley on the floor with Reed. That's Lockett. Lockett to the bucket.
Going to be a clean block by Peterson, but on the drive, Smith hit him as he went by, and that's where the foul's going to come.
Good call. Foul is on Smith. For Smith, his second foul. We'll talk about it after a timeout. 51-49, Austin Peay by 2. Best time of the year, championship week, presented by Dick's Sporting Goods. 89 men's and women's college basketball games featured by ESPN. 72 men's games, including 24 Division I championships. We are at the Ohio Valley Conference Tournament semifinal round. Both these teams fighting for the right to play in the championship game tomorrow. 51-49, Austin Peay in front by 2 over Samford. Fernandez Lockett at the line. 14 in the game. Perfect from the line. I jinxed him.
This is the number I talked about. The Governors are 17-0 when they outshoot their opponents. And right now, Samford is outshooting them 51% to 44. Yet, Governors have the lead. And now by 3.
Lockett played 41 minutes Tuesday night against Tennessee State at 18-8.
Just 3 and 10, by the way, when they get outshot. So this is Samford doing everything except having a lead on the scoreboard right now in that capacity.
Smith, Peterson, Galena. That's Galena down low. West and Merritt on the floor for Samford. Merritt's 3 doesn't go. West there for the miss.
That's their bread and butter play now, where they bring the guy back out to the wing and let Galena post up. Next time as they doubled down on him, he found the shooter, but they obviously wanted it in his hands for good reason. He's having a big night.
Peterson throws up the right-handed hook off the side of the backboard.
That's tough. That's not really a shot he's taken tonight. The game on the line, I got to think it's got to go through Galena every single time down the floor. This is a big possession for them here.
Right. The 3, no one came out to get him.
Actually, I think Peterson did a pretty good job of closing out on him. You got a 6'10" guy running at you. You got to get that thing up in the air. And you're only 5'9". Pretty good defense by the big fella to close out on him.
Merritt around the horn. West runs down Shipley. Blocking foul on Shipley.
Both officials called it the same way. Good try by Shipley, but maybe just a half count late.
Second foul on Shipley. Actually, 4th foul. He's looking at Lockett. 4th foul on Shipley. West, a 62% free throw shooter, misses.
It's tough to put a guy on the line there. He hasn't scored all night. A lot on the line. That one wasn't close.
Three-point game. And Austin Peay with the basketball. 20-10 in the regular season, 16-4 in conference play. They won the regular season title, earned the #1 seed. Shot clock down to 5.
Oh, great.
Elbow to Lockett with the left hand.
Terrific cut and a great delivery on the pass. And that's big. Already you got to start thinking now with a minute and a half, you better start thinking about numbers of possessions. That makes it the 2-possession game. That was huge.
17 for Lockett. 5-point game. Merritt.
That's out of character for them, playing quicker than they want, forcing issues, and they get nothing to show for it.
Starting to feel the clock run out on him. Reaching foul on West.
Well, I think they called the timeout.
Did they?
Yeah,
Called the timeout. You called it. 54-49, Austin Peay in front, 1:16 left. Our second game tonight of the Ohio Valley Conference semis. Tennessee Tech against Eastern Kentucky. The Ohio Valley Conference semifinals, part of Championship Week, presented by Dick's Sporting Goods. Tonight, coming up again at 8:30 Eastern. Here are the brackets. Austin Peay knocked off Tennessee State, 89-84. They needed overtime. Samford got by Murray State. Tennessee Tech knocked off Southeast Missouri, and Eastern Kentucky over Morehead State.
Correctly, we've been raving about Randall Galina's play tonight. And of course, the scoring champion, well, that was by 1 point over Belton Rivers, who we'll see in the next game. Tennessee Tech, 1 point separated the two of them over 31 games. So I expect we'll see another outstanding offensive performance in the second game. But we still got some work to do here.
A little over a minute to go. Austin Peay with an opportunity here to turn this into a 3-possession game. Shot clock down to 10. Reed. Channels knocks down the 3.
That was by design. They had him hiding out on the left wing the whole time. Oh, and that is not how Samford wants to play. Hurry up. That was a dagger. You remember when things got shaky at the start of the second half, Dave Luce put Channels on the left wing, ran a couple of plays for him. He made 1-3. It's just what they did there as well. Ran it till deep in the shot clock and get Channels for a dagger 3, and that could be the one that puts this one in the old freezer.
And you've been talking about balance for Austin Peay all game long. All these guys feeling confident on the floor, wanting to be aggressive, wanting the basketball. Here's Channels, the freshman, wanting to take the 3 in crunch time.
And that man deserves a lot of credit for that, Dave Luce. We've talked about that. This is a team, no seniors. And yet when crunch time came, he's given them the green light to be aggressive, not to be reckless, but to be aggressive. He told you that when you asked how they're going to play man-to-man defense. He said, hey, I want to see us turn the intensity and the aggressiveness up. I don't want to see us stand back on our heels. And I think it showed itself in this last minute of the ball game.
He said in his 17 years at Austin Peay, this team has overachieved more than any team that he's coached while at this school. No seniors on the team, 6 juniors, freshmen, wanting the basketball in crunch time.
And not really a deep roster either, if you look at it. I mean, they're not playing tons of numbers as you look at the game reset. But by and large, they have been a team that, as I said, just finds a way. You know, one night it's one guy. As great as Reed's been, as terrific as Lockett's been tonight, how about when Wright took over for them a little bit in that stretch? And how about the 3s by Channels here in the second half? This is a team that didn't get the regular season championship by luck.
And Bob, they opened up the season 3-6. They lost at Dayton. They were just beaten by like a drum by Illinois, 80-35, and they got clobbered by Memphis by 25. They made some adjustments, went to a smaller lineup.
Yeah, I do like that. When things get wobbly, I've always been a believer. Get smaller. It just seems to me give you some answers.
Is that a short joke?
Well, hey, you should be complimented.
That's okay.
Get smaller. And that was two right in the bottom of the well. Very confident.
Austin Peay up 10.
Well, this guy certainly has done everything he can. He's going to try and do a little bit more.
Galina all the way.
That's smart. Better to make sure you get something than take a very low percentage 3 and come up with an empty possession. The odds are obviously very stacked against them, but an empty possession here, they have to score every single time they get their hands on the ball.
Samford with 1 timeout left. Austin Peay with 2. 59-51. 38.3 seconds left. Jimmy Tillett, Samford's all-time winningest coach. 6 years. Was an assistant here at Samford under John Brady. Well, this would be a first if Austin Peay holds on.
Well, it's only actually not first, but close. 3 and 10 when they've got outshot. But you know what? That's why numbers are so great. Here's another number, though. When they hold the opposition under 70 points, they're 15 and 0. So they'll run that to 16 and 0. So there's always a number that you can find to support your case.
Galena with 21. And Lockett with 17. 59-51. Shipley tied up.
No accident there.
Follows on Jason Black.
81% free throw shooter. That was not an accident that they cleared out and made him bust to the basketball and pick up the foul.
Landon Shipley to the line. Dad was a pretty good basketball player at Southwest Missouri.
He has not scored a point yet, but still, percentages, that's the guy you want on the line.
Knocks down the first. Austin Peay won the regular season title, the #1 seed in the tournament, almost 2 weeks before the end of the regular season. And then they came into the tournament having lost 3 of 4, including their first home game of the season after 11 straight home wins. But they look good tonight. Merritt's 3 falls.
This team won't say die either, though. Talk about overachieving. That's a perfect indication. According to my stats here, this is unofficial, but I've got Austin Peay, a 68% free throw shooting team. Really, you're not great. They've only missed 2 free throws all night. I mean, that's what they have done all year. That's what overachievers do. They find ways, and that's what they've done tonight. Is they have certainly got timely performances from different guys. And even though they're being outshot, they've made some big shots down the stretch.
You coached on this level. How difficult is it to coach a team like Dave Luce's that has no seniors?
Well, you know, it is in today's game, especially. You take a look at the mid-major level, it's an enormous advantage. I mean, most of the mid-major teams that are overachievers are doing that because they have a lot of experience. So I think, you know, this is the team, and you mentioned it earlier that, you know, if you're going to have an overachieving team, you expect a guy like Reed to step up because you said he's such a hard worker. What happens is somebody's got to find it within themselves, like a Lockett that you talked about, who just says, you know what? I'm going to take the initiative here, and I'm going to buy into what the coach is pushing, and I'm going to buy into it, and he's turned into a terrific player as well. And as we said, the results are in the regular season championship.
I asked him about Wes Channels, the freshman. I said, did you expect this type of play? You know, now that he's moved into the starter's role with Kyle Duncan out for the rest of the year with a left knee injury. He goes, you don't know what to expect from freshmen.
He's honest. That's exactly true. You kind of stand there with the fans and say, let's take a look, see what we get. What they're getting is pretty good stuff.
Shipley hits the first.
Well, they really have not opened the door an inch to give Samford a thought they can get back in this. When they got a little separation late, boy, they went for the throat. Look at the free throw shooting. As I said, 68% on the season at 13 for 50. Not opening the door at all.
Tuesday night against Tennessee State, they went 33 for 43 from the line.
Making it tough to get a 3 off here.
Foul is on Shipley trying to defend Smith.
Well, that's significant. He's going to foul out. He's the best free throw shooter they've got. He's going to go have a seat.
Landon Shipley leaves with 4 points. All of his points coming from the line.
Well, I don't think Dave Luce agrees, but he's still going to have to put a player out there because they're not going to let him play with 4. So going to bring in Paddington. He's got 5 points on the day.
And 4 fouls. What a job by Dave Luce. He's led the Govs to 8 winning seasons over the last 11 years. University's all-time wins leader. This year's Ohio Valley Coach of the Year. 5th time he's won that award. In the 10th year, he's held the dual role of head coach and athletic director at Austin Peay.
Like all coaches, he's still not totally convinced it's over. He's like, why'd we foul there? Now they have a little chance. It is still, though, 3 possessions, 18.9. I kind of like the Governor's chances.
That free throw wouldn't go. Lockett. Foul by Black. I think that's the 5th foul on Black. Nope, the foul is on Trey Montgomery. Lockett to the line.
Disappointment on that bench. They put together a great run late after being picked to win the regular season, and things look good for them for a stretch tonight, but you got to tip your hat to this Austin Peay team with no seniors. The decision making they've made down the stretch in this ballgame has been pretty much impeccable, other than the foul that forced the foul out by Shipley. They really haven't made a bad decision at all in the last probably 5 minutes of the ballgame.
What did you think of Austin Peay's defense in this game?
I thought they did an effective job by and large. I mean, this is a very, very good Samford offense, and they give up a huge percentage to start of the second half, but they managed down late to get stops when they needed to and did a great job like that on the glass. Not a good rebounding team, really, by and large. They get out rebounded on the season, but the better of the two rebounding teams today, and they've done a good job on the boards throughout the ballgame. Actually, a double-digit advantage on the glass.
And a lot of that had to do with the fact that Fernandez Lockett came ready to play, and that was something that Dave Luce talked about today at the shoot-around. He said, I knew that Drake Reed was going to go out there and work during games, when it came to practice, on his own. Lockett was a guy who I wasn't sure about, but sure enough, Lockett came ready tonight. (65-55). Smith pulls up, takes the 3, and that is all she wrote.
Pretty impressive win, frankly, for the Governors against a Samford team that gave them all they wanted down the stretch. Dave Luce's team made the plays they had to make, and a double-digit win in impressive fashion puts them through to the finals.
Austin Peay, the #1 seed, moves on to the championship game. 65-55 over Samford. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For more, log on to ESPN.com.
And with that, we're glad to bring you in our SportsCenter U studios. Mike Hall, along with Blue Edwards here, taking you up to the next game, which will be Eastern Kentucky and Tennessee Tech, to find out who's going to